How's it going, weed nerds, growers of the world, cannabis enthusiasts? If you're under 18, kick rocks. If you're over 18, enjoy the show. I'm gonna give you guys a little insight on what I'm top dressing with, the products I'm using, and kind of exactly how I'm using it. We'll get right into it. Blazing on some Platinum OG. Comment below what you're blazing on. Like to hear all the different strains out there that people are smoking on and how they like them. This has got a real nice flavor, nice relaxing buzz. It's just some real good quality medicine. But let's get right into it. Pretty much everything I'm using is from Down to Earth. We're gonna go with we got the BioLive. The NPK on this is a 5, a 4, a 2. We got the BioFish, a 7, 7, 2. Humic acid, kelp meal 1/0.1/2. We got the blood meal 12/00. We got the Langbionite 0022. Now you have to be careful with this. You can burn your plants with this if you use way too much. So just be cautious. If you think you're using too much, just back off. It's, cannabis plants are really relentless, but you don't want to stress them out or burn them. You don't want to put yourself in a bad spot just for overdoing it. Neem seed meal 6, 1, 2. Then we got the bone meal 3, 15, 0. We got the crab meal 4, 3, 0. Alfalfa meal 2.5-0.5-2.5. And then we got the insect fresh, which is a 2, 2, 2. Then I also use the feather meal from Down to Earth. I cannot quite remember the NPK. I know the nitrogen is I think a 15 on that. So that is a really good nitrogen source. And I also use fishbone meal. That is another thing that I also incorporate into this top dressing mix. And as you can see, I have a very wide variety of nutrients that goes into my soil that will actually turn around and feed my plants. I think that the more variety that you have in your soil, the better you will do. Just because some strains like more of this, some strains like more of that. If you put it all in the soil, that plant will only take up what it wants if it has enough of everything there that it wants. When your plant starts uptaking stuff that it doesn't want is when it's lacking what it does want or need. Then it's forced to eat something. So, what I've done is I have taken and making my own ratios. I've done a lot of research on all these amendments and what benefits they do for the plant and how they kind of benefit the plant. So what I've done is I've taken and come up with my own ratio, and I have mixed my own buckets. Okay, and each one of these are labeled when they should be top dressed to the plants outside. Okay, and we'll get into ratios here in just a second. I know a lot of people are using like the Mr. B's Green Tree and the Nature's Pride. If you think about it, all this stuff is what's in those buckets. And I also am using glacial rock dust and bat guano as well. I don't know, I don't think I put that in there. I just want to clarify that as well. That is also something that is getting mixed into my buckets. Okay, let's get into ratios. We're gonna pretty much do 4 per bucket. This is per 5-gallon bucket, okay? This is not top dressing to your plants. This is per 5-gallon bucket, okay? We're gonna do 4.5 cups of everything here, okay? 4.5 cups of everything that you see here, except the Langbianite. We're gonna go 2 cups of that, okay? But we're not gonna start incorporating that into our mix until the first week of August. The first week of August is when the Langbianite will start going into the buckets, which I've actually already got them all mixed out. So this week when I top dress, I've got a bucket that actually has this incorporated, and it will be 2 cups per bucket. The rest is 4 cups, 4.5 cups per bucket, okay, of everything here. I also put 4.5 cups of the feather meal and 4.5 cups of the fishbone meal per bucket. Then I do twice the amount on the glacial rock dust. I will do about 8 cups per bucket of the glacial rock dust, and I'll do 4 cups per bucket on the bat guano, okay? And then that will be almost a full bucket. You want to leave just a little space in there so that you can shake it up and mix it up well. Also, the humic acid, that is only 2 cups per bucket. I want to make sure I clarified that as well. 2 cups per bucket, 2 cups per bucket, okay? This goes in all year. I put it in all year from June. I do not top dress my pots with this at the beginning of the year before I transplant out. I top dress my pots with everything here except for the Langbianite and the humic acid. I top dress the pots at the beginning of the year with everything here except for the humic acid and the Langbianite. June 1st, I will start incorporating the humic acid. That's when that will go into the pots. Well, go into the mix, the bucket mix I got over here. And June 1st, the bucket mix will have everything except for the Langbianite. Okay? And I will do that every 2 weeks. I will top dress every 2 weeks. All the way up until the second week of July. The second week of July is when I'll start top dressing with this once a week. Once a week I'll be top dressing. I'll be doing the compost teas once every other week. I'm also using the recycle seal. Shout out to Cali Grown Buds for turning me onto this as well. This stuff is amazing. Let me just say it's amazing. And I'm also using aloe vera powder and Hybrix molasses. I give them molasses once a week. Now, to what after I've got all these mixed into this bucket and I've shaken it really well, I have, on my 100-gallon pots, I will do 1 red Solo Cup per pot. Per pot. Not a heaping Solo Cup, just a little less than the full Solo Cup. Okay, about that far from the top of a full Solo Cup. I think it ends up being a 1.25 cups or a 1.5 cups if you were to use a measuring cup. I just use a Solo Cup. It's just a little easier. I sprinkle it around. I do not sprinkle it up close to the roots or up close to the stalk. I don't want to take a chance of getting root rot or anything like that, stalk rot. I will sprinkle it around towards the edge of my pots, okay? And I will do a video next week on how I actually do that, and then how I actually water it in, and so on and so forth. My 400-gallon pots, I will do it actually 4 cups of the same, okay? So it'll be the same amount pretty much. 400 gallons, 4 cups, 100 gallon, 1 cup, you know, 1.25 cup. So that gives you a little insight on what amendments I'm using, the wide variety. Like I say, this is gonna be like a buffet in my pots. Them plants are gonna have everything that they could even think about wanting in there. Okay, I know a lot of people are using the Nature's Pride and the Mr. B's Green Tree, and that stuff is banging. Let me tell you, it works, and I've seen it. I've watched a lot of people use it, and it is working. But I think this is the way to go. Them buckets have all this exact same stuff. Maybe a little bit of something different, a little bit of more of this, but most of this stuff is in those buckets that you're buying, okay? I made 27 buckets with all these, okay? 27 buckets with all my material here, okay? Now you do the math, how much you're paying for one of those buckets that you're using. And now you do the math of how much each one of these costs, and then do the math of how much you've got into each one of those buckets. Pennies to the dollar, folks. I think I'm onto something here. This is what you need to do. This is the cheaper way, and you know exactly what is in that bucket. You don't know for sure what is in those buckets. Regardless, they might be organic. I hope they are. But this way, you do. I know. I know that bucket is full of organic goodness, lusciousness, and my plants love it. Alright, folks. Peace out. Till next time.